Blaine Brown here, the brake answer man. Wanted to shed some light on Mopar brake components, specifically 1966 through about 1974. We're going to talk about the original first generation components briefly and the new second generation components. What we have here is we have an icon in the Mopar world. The classic drum brake master cylinder, identified by a 1-inch bore, this double hump lid. This master cylinder is a great drum brake master cylinder. It was used on all cars, 1967 through 1970. All lines. Yes, C bodies, the 1970 E body, all car lines, all cars through 1970. This master cylinder has never been reproduced correctly. There have been several foundries and manufacturers that have picked up the replacement for us Mopar guys over the last couple decades. Of course, they're fairly similar, but they're not correct. They all come with that shiny flat lid here on top. A lot easier stamping. That's one of the reasons this master cylinder was never ever duplicated, because of the difficult lid. And so there we go. There's tens of thousands of Mopars out there that have the wrong master cylinder on them. Anytime you see a Mopar with a flat lid on here, it's wrong. This master cylinder was used in manual drum brakes with the rod connecting to the pedal, and it was also used on power applications. Most of the time, this master cylinder with this small bore was coupled with this smaller booster made by Midland Ross. It's a single diaphragm booster, and it is designed to basically move a 1-inch bore master cylinder. Not very many Mopars came with power brakes, and not very many of them came with power disc brakes, as we all know. All my cars were cheap, Roadrunners and Super Bs, and I did not own a power brake Mopar until much later. Let's move on to the disc brake applications. Whenever my Mopar from 1967 through 1970 used disc brakes on their cars, they used this engine right here. The 1.8-inch bore Bendix master cylinder. This master cylinder was cast in two varieties. Left side ports going towards the fender. A slang term for it was the Hemi master cylinder. The other casting, the ports came out this side facing the engine. These master cylinders came on 66 through 70 cars with disc brakes. Hemi cars came out this way, casting number 222 5621, and originally off the assembly line, the master cylinders came out on the right side for every other car. That original casting is a 222 6821. The only difference, left, right side ports. Outstanding master cylinder, has a lot of power, large bore. It was designed to use those multi-piston calipers like the Kelsey Hayes and the Bendix. My Mopar was already running high-performance multi-piston calipers and fixed calipers on their designs in the 60s. This stuff from other folks is really nothing new. This master cylinder needs a lot of assist. An 1.8-inch bore on a master cylinder for a car is considered quite large. This master cylinder was always coupled with the big tandem diaphragm booster made by Bendix. It also has a unique shape to it. This 4-flat front, kind of a trapezoid type deal. This is a maximum assist booster, and any time that you want to have the best brakes that you can, mount this bad boy on a Mopar. If you've got this on your Mopar, whether it's drum or disc applications, your Mopar, the brake pedal will be as plush and comfortable as anything you drive today. No joke. Moving on, later, used through 1970, with the new e-body launch, we started seeing some changes. These were not upgrades in performance, they were actually downgrades in performance. We're starting to see the end of the muscle car era. Sales were winding down. Mopars trying to save a little bit of money. Once again, single diaphragm booster, maximum assist tandem diaphragm booster. Then in 1970, we stepped down on the e-bodies. They started using this it's pancake style. It's large and flat, approximately 11 inches. But this is a single diaphragm booster. It's got one diaphragm in here, and although it is larger in diameter, it does not have the power assist that this does. They kind of reached a happy medium because of basically cost. We have this one, then we have a step up, and then we have the maximum. With this, they also downgraded the master cylinder with the disc brake applications. They went from an 1 1/8" bore down to an 1 1/32" bore. The original casting used 1970 through 1974 on the e-bodies, and 1971 through 1974 on the B-bodies, casting 346 1187. This was used on the muscle cars through 1974. It has an 1 1/32" bore, so they stepped down in size, and so they needed to compensate for the smaller piston to move as much fluid. So they added this extended stroke snout on the front of this master cylinder, giving it a very unique shape. And this style was used all the way through 1978. Snout style master cylinder, extended stroke. Once again, these two components were coupled together. A little bit lower performing master cylinder, a little bit lower performing booster. Once again, in 1970, the only supplier for the boosters and master cylinders was Bendix, and you got this black booster right here. In the 71 through 74 cars, Midland Ross had part of the contract, and they were supplying some boosters also. And towards the end, 1973 and 1974, they were basically supplying all of the boosters on the B and E body line.